Hero, would you please let Wendy and Lucy fight their own battles without being saved for just once? I'm just saying. So with this week's chapter of Fairy Tail, I felt as though there was some interesting, setups and some small little, I guess, cliffhangers and kind of one of those moments where it's just like, oh, what, finish that goddamn sentence. But one of the big things about this chapter that just really annoyed me, and I feel as though it's gotten to the point where every time I'm just like, this is the opportunity, you can do it, here you go. Hiro Mashima just throws it out the window with this week's chapter. It was originally set up from last week's chapter with Wendy and Lucy, and then they have Keith there. They got 40 minutes, obviously, to get to Face, and it's like, okay, they're about to go. First, Gray saves them from Keith, and then they keep on going. They got Happy and Charla, carrying them on the backs, and they're going forward. And then they have another roadblock, Franmolth. And then Natsu comes and saves them from Franmolth as well. And I'm just thinking to myself, these are two formidable foes. Lucy has the 13 keys. She has incredible magic, the Uronometria. She has capable feats to fight. Wendy, Sky Roar magic. Hello, she was one of the three that was fighting against the Acnologia alongside Natsu and Gajeel. She's formidable as well. And you go into this chapter, and it's like they're being saved both different times. I mean, at the end of the day, there is 40 minutes, so it's like, yeah, they need to rush through it, but they could have at least taken on one and the other one took the other or something like that, because it's just like, why is it that constantly they have to be saved first? In this chapter, they get saved twice. They don't even got to fight their own battles twice. First, Gray comes in and hits Keith, and then Natsu comes in and hits Franmolth. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, the character progression that is right there, it's at the fingertips, they could just grasp it right there, constantly just ripped away, and it's just really disheartening to see these characters that they're formidable. They can clearly go above and beyond, and me personally, I'm a fan of, independent chicks that can kick some ass, and it's like, they clearly have the capabilities of doing so. It's just Hiro never lets them, and it almost feels at certain times almost as if it's sexist. It's like, yeah, these two girls, they're not doing shit. Maybe I'll let Erza do something later on, but these two, nah, they're just booty meat. And it feels disgusting even to say that about Wendy, but let's be honest, that is the token lowly of this series. And Keith tells Gray, you are Silvers, and then it just ends right there. Of course, those, oh, I gotta know type of moments right there, and I'm thinking, okay, you are Silvers. Are you Silver's clone? Are you Silver's counterpart? Are you Silver's son? What is he going to say that you are Silver's? I'm thinking the line, the way it's set up, it looks like you are Silver's son, or you are Silver's other half, one or the other. Bit of one of those like, oh man, I would love him to finish that sentence, but it's kind of like Naruto with the mysterious foot. I'm not going to have too much high hopes because it could just turn out, oh, you are Silver's left nut or something. We get a little bit more insight into Franmolth's abilities, and this time he sucked up not only Aries, but he also has Taurus inside of him, and at the end of the chapter was left off on a cliffhanger as to what soul he was transforming into. From the shape of it and the way it was kind of looking, it looked like it could possibly be Hades. Also, I'm thinking to myself, maybe it could also be Warrid. And the time between the last time I saw Ward, maybe he went over there and fucked Ward's shit up or something. It could be that as well. Maybe he has Ward's soul, which in that case, it'd kind of be creepy after we just had this nice arc with this nice old man for him to be sucked away. So, the way his head was, like, turning shaped, like it was slowly transforming, I'm thinking it could be Hades or Warrid or something along the lines of that, because they were shocked and they were like, how does he have this? So, interesting cliffhanger at the end of this chapter with that. I'm curious to see. And I feel as though the good thing that this chapter did is that it progressed. Now, Wendy is pretty much on her way towards Face. 34 minutes remaining, so they got that out the way. It did some setups for some fights, even though it was bullshit, because the fights really should have been Wendy and Lucy versus one of these Tartarus members. And at this point, don't give me that, oh, they're Tartarus members, they shouldn't be going up against these people, because Tartarus, throughout this entire arc, has been getting owned left and right. Kyoka, all these people have been getting owned left and right, except Silver. And it's like, yeah, don't give me that they're Tartarus. No, Lucy and Wendy can't take them out. I mean, Natsu is making clowns of these people. But going back to Franmolth with having that soul, if he does have Hades' soul, I'm curious how he got his hands on it. Was it after Zeref defeated Hades and killed him? Did he store his soul in his book collection and then eventually Franmolth got his hands on it? I'm curious if that is indeed Hades. How the hell would he get his soul? If it's not Hades, then whoever it may be, I would like a little bit of a backstory as to how he got this surprise person's soul that seemingly got them shook, Natsu and them. Let me know what you guys think, first of all, this whole thing with Lucy and Wendy having to be rescued yet again, Natsu and Gray coming to save the day. Do you feel as though, like, this character progression is just never going to come for these two, especially Lucy. How many times within the Grand Magic games, ever since the time skip in general, is she going to be cheated? Like, is there going to come a point when she's actually going to be able to fight back and not need Natsu, Gray, or anybody else to come save her? Also, what is Keith going to say? What do you think it is? You are Silver's. Is it, you know, your Silver's son, Silver's other half, Silver's past self? Like, what is he possibly going to say? And who do you think is Franmolth's soul that he's turning into? Do you think it's Hades? Do you think it's Warred? Somebody else that I didn't mention? And just your overall thoughts of this chapter. Overall, with this chapter, I felt as though it was fine, slightly better than average. The shit with Wendy and Lucy was just absolute BS. And like some of those cliffhangers, it was like you could totally finish that sentence, bro. You do not need to leave us in suspense. So I'm gonna give this one 6 out of 10. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you want to see one day Wendy and Lucy kick some ass. And also, if you want to find out these mysteries that we got on our hands, who the hell is Gray to Silver? What is Franmolth turning into? I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.